Hello, dear aspirants. Let's decode current affairs for 9th August 2026. Hope you are doing good. There are a few important topics collected from various newspapers and various sources. So let us stick to the current affairs. Keep practicing those current affairs regularly. The first thing that is in news is that exercise black pitch. Exercise pitch black. So imagine Australia actually chose this kind of exercise pitch black because it has large amount of area where sparsely populated. Australia has large amount of area where population is very sparse, and at the night time it can conduct such operations, such exercises. So that is the reason Australia has chosen exercise pitch black, so which means precisely conducting the exercise at the night hours, and here 19 different nations have participated, and over 100 aircrafts and 4,400 plus personnel have participated in this exercise pitch black. So India joined the exercise since 2018. Since 2018, India is part of this exercise, and it is a biannual exercise, which means every 2 years it will be hosted by Royal Australian Air Force. It is international flying event. Sparsely populated. Australia conducts it from 2018. India is part of it. Every 2 years once it is being conducted. Okay. So here the context with respect to us is that India recently participated using Rafale jets. So we used Rafale jets in exercise pitch black. In exercise pitch black, we used Rafale jets. So we know the extensive story of Rafale jets and from which country did we purchase Rafale. So kindly do comment in the comment section, from which country did India purchase Rafale fighter jets. So this is about exercise pitch black, which is conducted by Australia, and multinational exercise which is conducted mostly at the night time, and India recently participated in it. Clear? So next, coming to Mount Bromo. So here Mount Bromo is in news. It is from Indonesia. So Indonesia reminds me of the fact that it shifted its capital because of climate change. See, this becomes the important headlines back then when it shifted the capital to another city. Kindly do comment in the comment section, what is the new capital city of Indonesia going to be? The old capital was Jakarta. Jakarta was found to be inundated by because of rise in the water level, and that is because of climate change. We cannot deny the fact that climate change is hitting each and every corner of the world. So in response to that, Indonesia became the first country to shift the capital because of climate change. So here, with respect to that, Indonesia, which means reminded me of this fact. So here again Indonesia is in news because Mount Bromo National Park has been affected with major wildfire. So what is this Mount Bromo National Park? So it is a small active volcano. It is basically a small active volcano in Indonesian island of Java. Okay. So this wildfire has stated that nearly 60 hectares of land has been lost. 16 hectares of land has been affected with this wildfire. So according to various reports. So that is why the devastation is to the larger extent. Okay, so here how did this Bromo come into existence is that way back a large volcano gave rise to small different volcanoes, and among that is Bromo volcano, so which is the youngest out of all those small volcanoes. Bromo is the youngest. It actually sits inside San C caldera itself, which is a part of Tensor caldera, which means a bigger volcano, which formed 8,000 years ago, So historical eruptions, usually every few years once these eruptions do occur, because it is active. It is in the active area of volcanoes. So recently in 2004 also the eruptions have been found to be. So it is actually home to 1,000 recorded various plant species, including various kinds of orchids. Clear? So this is about Mount Bromo, which is volcanic in origin, which formed from a bigger volcano which later evolved into small different volcanoes. One among those is Bromo volcano, so which is a part of Indonesia. Mount Bromo National Park. So remember last time in UPSC preliminary exam also they asked regarding volcanoes, which of the following volcanoes erupted recently, and identify their places also, from which place the volcano is. Okay, so remember this is quite important because Indonesia is in news because of its shift in the capital and also the recent major wildfire whatever is happening as of today. Okay, so moving forward, we have another missile in the news, so that is Qadar F missile. So before we know this, we have to know that Shahab 3 missile was developed by Iran. Its later version is Qadar F missile. So remember, this is not the newest invention it happened, but earlier in 2007 only Iran actually displayed this Qadar F missile. So this Qadar F missile is in news because Iran started using this missile. Against Israel. So that is why it is in the news. So which Iran is actually showcasing its long range strike capability. So here we have to look the features of Qadar F missile. So it is ballistic missile. It is advanced form of Shahari missile. Okay, so it is having dual stage propulsion containing liquid fuel as well as solid fuel. It is a dual stage containing liquid fuel as well as solid fuel. So maximum range it can reach about 2000 to 2500. So 2000 to 2500 range. Okay, so it can carry a single warhead or multiple re-entry vehicles. Basically it can take a single warhead, or after that it can also carry multiple re-entry vehicles. So this is about Qadar F missile. So here the things what we have to learn is that what is the basic difference between ballistic missile as well as cruise missile. So ballistic missile as well as cruise missile, so I'll make a short video on that and we will discuss there. So as of now with respect to Qadar F missile, it is the earlier version is Shahab 3 missile. So Iran recently used it in conflict with Israel, and also it is a ballistic missile. From 2007 it was possessing. It is a dual stage which uses liquid as well as solid, and it can reach up to the speed of 2000 to 2500 kilometers. Next, moving forward, we have another important wildlife sanctuary in the news. So Assam also remembers as various different other factors also. So Assam's finance ministry inaugurated a new wildlife range office inside the sanctuary, which actually helps in increasing administration. Yes, so when there is an office created for that, so eventually it increases the administration and also increases protection for animals. Okay, so with respect to this, we have to look at the geographical aspects of the Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary. Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary. So here finance minister inaugurated a new wildlife range within the sanctuary. So what happens if we do that is that it increases administration, it increases the protection towards animals. So now where is this Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary is located is northwestern part of Sonitpur district, Assam, along the Himalayan foothills, northwestern part of Sonitpur. And again, so what rivers flows through it is that, so various examinations they ask the question which of the rivers flows through that wildlife sanctuary, tiger parks and all that you have to remember. Burhid Burhithing river flows through that. And again, so while it enters into Arunachal Pradesh, another river also joins to that, that is called as Namchang, Namchang river. The first river from where it joins is that Burhithing river, and when it enters into Arunachal Pradesh, it is joined by Namchang river. River. Next, coming forward, the various types of forest located in it are evergreen forest, mostly evergreen forest, and grassland. It experiences subtropical type of climate with heavy summer rains. Subtropical climate with heavy summer rains. So key species include Asian elephant, Indian bison, endangered white-winged wood duck. Endangered white-winged wood duck. So in Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary, which of the following endangered species is being protected? This can be your MCQ in your examination, or identify the rivers flowing through Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary. They can ask you the question straightforward, or they can frame various statements from this. So Burhitling rivers follows through the Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary, and Namchang river joins after it enters Assam. This can be your question in the examination. So absolutely not, because we know the other form I have told you that it joins near Arunachal Pradesh, not near Assam. Okay, so clear. This is about Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary. Next, moving forward, we have another important island, that is Palau, which is in news. It gives me another idea. Another idea to discuss here is that it has lot of significance, connecting the ocean as well as land, connecting the recycling process, connecting the various climate philosophies in this. Okay, the Palau Island is always in the news, various formats. But here we have to see is that one common phenomenon, let me discuss, is that, so here near Palau Island, various seabirds are present. These seabirds go into the ocean to feed on marine species. So then later they come into the island. They come into this Palau Island, and their droppings are called as guano. The droppings are called as guano. So which is again, this is going back to the ocean itself. So where it is creating a cycle process. This is rich in nutrients and potassium, which are rich in nutrients. So, which are rich in nutrients. So, creating fishing zone, whereby creating the fishing zone. So this is the context of Palau Island, which was always in the news. So here, what happened was that seabirds have returned to Palau Ulang Island. So nearby, the coral reefs nearby have shown that invasive rats were removed. So with respect to that, gradually what happened was that, so after 2014, so several rats invaded this area. So several rats started invading the Palau Island, so whereby it destroyed the entire ecosystem. It actually destroyed the entire ecosystem. So here recently government in 2024 started removing these invasive rats. So started removing these invasive rats. Then again, so recent reports 2026 reports states that the ecosystem has been recovering. Again, seabirds were resurfaced. Seabirds again formed their way, and again the fishing grounds have started. So this is how the ecosystem is being repaired after removing the invasive species. This is not just a story of seabirds or not just a story of island, but it's a story of entire process. So if an invasive species is removed from that, how the ecosystem flourishes. Okay, so here it is an island which is located in western Pacific Ocean, made up of nearly 300 different islands. It actually shares borders with Micronesia, Indonesia and Philippines. Micronesia, Indonesia as well as Philippines. It actually became independent in 1994. It relies on, although it is independent, for its defense, it relies on United States under Compact of Free Association. So Palau Islands capital cities is Nagarmul on Babel Daob Island, Engermuld on Babel Daob Island. So this is the important GK question. Okay? So it is the world's least populous national capital city. World's least populous national capital city is Nagarmuld on Babel Daob Island on Palau Island. Okay, clear? So this is all about Palau. The important, interesting topics which is quite important for our examination is this: the seabirds have again resurfaced. That is why the Palau is in news. So because of only one action took by the government, that is removal of invasive rat species. So for which the ecosystem has been repairing. Next, moving forward, let us come into another topic: microbacterium polluti soli. Pollutu soli. So remember, pollution is very devastating in nature. Pollution harms your body, pollution causes cancer, pollution causes breathlessness, pollution causes everything, whatnot. Now, pollution is also creating pollution is also creating new species. Yes, likewise, the new microbacterium has emerged. New microbacterium has emerged, that is polluti soli. So polluti, which means contaminated, which means contaminated, soli, which means microbe of polluted soil, microbe of polluted soil. So polluted, which means contaminated, soli means microbe of polluted soil. So this was recently identified at Uttar Pradesh pesticide dump soil. Uttar Pradesh pesticide dump soil. So researchers have discovered a new bacterial species in toxic pesticide dump soil at Uttar Pradesh. So this name is contaminated as well as soil means literally microbe of polluted soil. So it forms a shiny yellow color. It forms a shiny yellow color rod shaped colonies which can survive a temperature of 12 to 14 degrees. It can survive a temperature up to 12 to 14 degrees. So here it can also tolerate highly alkaline conditions. Like most usual bacteria do not tolerate highly alkaline conditions, but this bacterium tolerates. So here an important finding is that it can produce natural pigments. So stress protecting hormones, natural pigments, they can be used for coloring, and it is actually produces a chemical which has cancer fighting capacity. Cancer fighting chemical compounds are found to be present in polytosol. So eventually when you look here, if a bacterium evolves from mm, a toxic pesticide dump area, so eventually we can know that it has faced all kind and it has emerged, right? So that is why it is known to have cancer fighting chemical compounds in that. Okay, so which is a major breakthrough. So but here again we need to have more number of laboratory studies with respect to confirming this cancer fighting chemical compounds. As of now we need to remember the name, where it has been identified, the meaning of the name, and how what are its physical constraints like shiny yellow rod shaped colonies, and where does it survive. Is does it survive in acidic conditions or does it survive in alkaline conditions, and what it produces. So natural pigments it produces, stress protecting compounds it produces, and cancer fighting chemical compounds it protects. So see, imagine pollution is actually bringing up new microbes and also having, and these microbes are having solution to whatever problems the society is facing because of the pollution what we are doing. Because of pollution we are suffering with cancer, and the emerged microbacterium has anti-cancer properties, right? It is a nature's response to the destruction the man is causing. Next, moving forward, we have centralized public grievance redressal and monitoring system. Suppose an individual, consider an individual Mr. X, which is quite famous, which is quite favorite for UPSC these days. So Mr. X have a complaint with respect to his medical bill. He wants to approach one ministry. So here health is there, education is there, environment ministry is there, earth ministry is there, social justice ministry is there. So now which ministry he has to approach in order to solve this problem? Then eventually basically he has to approach the Ministry of Health. If it is not responding, which ministry he should approach? So for this kind of problem the government has come up with centralized public grievance redressal and monitoring system. So this actually acts as a central pool. This acts as a central pool to coordinate with the various different ministries of the government having a single source of information. Okay, so this is a portal which works on 24 into 7. It's a single portal. It connects all the central government agencies, all the departments and the states to work on time. So basically it can be used, the written letter, the Mr. X can write letter in 22 different languages which are recognized in the constitution, which means under 8th schedule. So under 8th schedule, whatever the languages are recognized, that can be used for writing letter by the Mr. X. And apart from 22, the other one language also can be used is English. So English is not a recognized language. English is only official language in our country. For official purpose we use. official language. Okay, 20, which means in total 22 languages he can write. And all these, once he raises the question, it has to be solved within 21 days. Within 21 days. Okay, so this portal is developed by Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, that is Ministry of Personnel. Ministry of Personnel. Clear? So this is all about centralized public grievance redressal and monitoring system. So moving forward, so straightforward they can ask you this kind of statements also. Mr. X wanted to write a letter addressing the Ministry of Health to solve his problem, and it was eventually found that Ministry of Health doesn't respond to such kind of queries. Then if we have to approach another ministry, how many such ministries would he go? So apart from doing that, the government has provided which of the following services in such kind scenario, what services can be benefiting Mr. X, that is centralized public grievance redressal and monitoring system. Next, moving forward, Nishi tribe. Nishi tribe. So imagine one new plant species is discovered, and um, and for the discovery, a tribe has been helping them, and in recognition of their efforts, the tribe's clan name is chosen. One of the tribe's clan is chosen to name that species. How wonderful is it, right? So a newly discovered plant species, that is Begonia Nela Morum. Begonia Nila Morum. It's named after Nishi's clan that assisted researchers. So now what concerns us is that where this community are located. They are located in Arunachal Pradesh, which is spread about 8 districts. In 8 districts, these tribes are located. So they follow age-old techniques of agriculture, slash and burning, hunting and fishing. Okay, so they are skilled in weaving, cane, bamboo work as well as wood carving. So they are equipped with all kinds of skills. Here, they celebrate major festivals that are Boribut, Nyokam, Longte. So these are the various different festivals celebrated by Nishi tribe. So along with that, they are patrilineal. They are patrilineal. So because most of the tribes in northern part of India are found to be matrilineal. They derive their lineage from their mother. So they use a mother surname and all. But here Nishi tribes are patrilineal, not matrilineal. So they celebrate Boribut, Nakam and Longti festivals. So moving forward, we have another important update with respect to environment. So remember, see, people, we started adapting to the extreme amount of temperatures, extreme amount of humidity by using air conditioners. Okay, even though we are sitting in the middle of monsoon month, but we are experiencing lot of humidity, we started adapting to it. So likewise, crops have also adapted to such kind of situations. Such crop is Roselli crop. One such crop is Roselli crop. So here it is helping the tribal communities at Odisha. It is helping the tribal communities at Odisha to go for climate resilient crops. Climate resilient crops. Its scientific name is Hibiscus subdarifa. Hibiscus subdarifa. Locally it is called as Benda dal. So locally it is called as Benda dal. So it usually grows in rain fed uplands with minimum water. It only needs minimum water, not more amount of water. So and can survive marginal land, and it can survive marginal land. So they are rich in vitamin C, anthocyanins, so which means coloring agent. So like red, purple and blue color. It also has antioxidants that gives its flower cups a deep red in color. Clear? So basically it is consumed as a leafy vegetable. It is consumed as a leafy green vegetable, and it has also been found to have some medical properties. So Rosalie crop is climate resilient crop. It can grow with less amount of water, and it can grow in marginal land. It only uses minimum water. It has anthocyanins, which means coloring agents of red, purple as well as blue color. Its scientific name is hibiscus subdarifa. So this is about Rosalie crop. So this you can quote in your any environment kind related questions, any environment kind general essay. So how the nature is adapting to itself with respect to climate change. Next, coming to, we have few important MCQs we will be discussing with reference to exercise pitch black. Consider the following statements. It is hosted by Royal Australian Air Force. Yes, the 2026 edition was held only. So any kind of extreme statements kindly avoid only. So I was telling at three different air bases. Australia has three different air bases. At three different air bases, the exercise was conducted. With reference to Qadar F missile, consider the following statements. It is a ballistic missile. Okay, so here it is a ballistic missile developed by Iran based on Shahab 3 missile. Yes, it uses single stage. No, I already told you two stage, one liquid as well as one solid. Both liquid and solid are there. So statement 1 is only right. Next, moving to, with reference to Palau, consider the following statements. Its capital city is a world's least populous national capital. Yes, it gained independence from British colonial rule in 1994. No, not British. So kindly do comment in the comment section from whom did it gain independence. With reference to centralized public grievance redressal and monitoring, consider the following statements. It is developed by Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievance. Yes, the grievance filed on must be resolved within 21 days. Yes, both the statements are true. And how many languages? 22 plus one language the complaint can be raised. Okay, so 22 are recognized and one is official language. Here we have one important mains question. The centralized public grievance redressal monitoring system reflects India's shift towards technology driven citizen centric governance. Discuss the role of digital governance redressal platform in strengthening accountability and public trust in India. What further reforms are needed to make grievance redressal more effective at the local level? So here, start with a unique introduction. Next, in the body, try to write regarding single what the provisions it is providing. Single window clearance, that is what we were talking, right? So it has single window clearance. Next, what it is having is that transparency. Next, what it's having is that time bound redressal. Yes, so within 21 days they have to respond. Next, again, monitoring system. Again, we have citizen participation, inclusiveness. This is all about the provisions which are with respect to that. So again here they are asking further reforms which are needed. So for the further reforms, what we can do is that digital divide, So not all can write the complaint online. So clearing the digital divide is important. And low digital literacy, what challenge will we encounter, that we are actually talking about. So what kind of challenges we will encounter in the due process. So remote areas don't have access is the more problem, isn't it? Automatically if you have access, everything will be certain place. Next, inadequacy. Okay, so these are the various headings I wish to put forth. You can write your answer as per your thought process and come up with new innovative methods to write the answer, to innovative steps to write the answer. So thank you so much. This is all for today. It's just a wrap. We will wrap whatever we have discussed today. So, and various different topics from various aspects. So learn, revise, and see you in the tomorrow's class. Thank you so much.